Browns 0-8 at home. Just sad.
I haven't heard you this down since Dr. Brown got fired. It's a game that we were in, and it's a game that we just don't finish.
I don't want to watch anymore.
Why? Why does that happen? I'm so sick of watching those plays.
0-16.
I definitely do not want to watch this all 22.
That's up and down to me. That looks like dysfunction. All right, we're back. What's up, bitches? Here we go. Season 3, Episode 2, Surviving the Season. Adam Hare live from the Baywater Studios in Tampa, Florida. Greg Hare is also here live from where?
Sitting on my bed in the comfort of my house in Huron, Ohio.
Spectacular.
What's going on?
We're going to cover some Browns news today. Just sort of catch up on some of these things. Some injuries to talk about. You want to start there?
Sure.
All right.
Get the bad shit out of the way quickly.
Let's get the bad shit out of the way. Trevin Coley's down 4 to 8 weeks, possibly with a high ankle sprain. I believe Hugh called it. He'll be out for a little while. We're calling it 4 to 8.
That's a position that we're already kind of thin at. I mean, you got Meter, you got Brantley, you got Coley, you got Ogunjobi, and then that's it. And right now you're talking about Coley being down for a little while here, and Brantley has been in and out of the lineup every single day.
Brantley's had a tough camp. As far as maybe just bad luck, but he's been. It's almost consistent.
You're wondering if he's dealing with. I think the first day they were saying cramps, and now you're wondering if it's like a lingering issue where maybe you pull the hamstring. It's not real bad, but you would think if that's the case, it would be they would just sit him out for a couple of weeks, let it heal. What's the point of rushing him? So maybe he just keeps getting the same. One thing after another.
Hopefully he came in shape. Maybe it's just bad luck and not anything of his own fault here.
Yeah, we can't afford to lose any more guys here who are a little thin on that interior position.
Yeah, and they waived undrafted free agent, what was his name, Trenton Thompson out of Georgia, that everyone was pretty excited about. They've moved on from him.
As much as you can be excited about a undrafted guy. I think that he had some injury history himself. I don't know if that was part of it or what. So we'll see going forward. I mean, the game's this week, man. So
it looks like they're talking about Ogunjobi playing the nose tackle. Ogunjobi also said that he's very comfortable with that. That's what he did at Charlotte.
He did that last year. Anyways, it's not. I read something that said, "How does he feel about the position change?" What are they talking about? That's what he did last year. I have no idea. So unless they're playing him at the 3 primarily, are you sure he's not behind Coley? No, because Brantley is. Of course he's playing the 1. That's what he did last year. What are they talking about? He's making a.
I thought he was playing some 3-tech too last year.
I think he played both.
Okay.
But he was, from what I recall, he was primarily behind Danny Shelton.
Yeah, and he's been playing behind Meter this year to start the season. Now that Coley's down, though, that's going to shuffle this around a little bit.
Meter mania, man. Still doing it. Getting it done. Pride of Ashland.
Yeah. So that's on the defensive side. There's a couple injuries there. Hopefully Brantley can put this together before the season, maybe try to make a statement this year that he's a pro and he's going to be here, shows up, because like you said, this group is a little bit thin right now.
Yeah, unless one of these other guys show up, but I don't know who the hell Jeremy Falk or that Zaycoven Henderson. He's a big dude that's been in trouble. I don't even know who else they got there right now.
So let's go to the offensive line. Kevin Zeitler is out a couple weeks with a calf. Hopefully that's nothing too serious. Spencer Drango has stepped into the right guard spot. So we've got some movement now on the offensive line.
We definitely can't have an injury here right now. This could be a problem. Right now with Bitonio moving, sliding Corbett in, Corbett's going to be unsure. You want to have at least your vets there. As long as he's back by week 1, that's all we really care about. So just as long as be healthy for week 1, we're going to need you, Zeitler. Preseason doesn't really matter. As many reps as you guys can get together is obviously going to help. Just looking at depth there, man, Durango, okay, he's got plenty of experience, right? That helps, but that's just now we're adding another new piece to this offensive line. And we're already trying to absorb losing a Hall of Famer.
So I would like 4 of 5 new players on the offensive line. I mean, while Zeitler's out, obviously, hopefully it's only 2 weeks, but Hubbard at right tackle, Bitonio at left tackle, moving over from guard. Sean Coleman has been sort of replaced by Bitonio for now. our second round pick, Corbett, steps into left guard. That was Bitonio last year. Of the 5 starting offensive linemen, 4 of them are new.
Yeah, new spot anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why you want to get as many reps as you can, make sure everybody's on the same page. Even though Bitonio is moving, I'm not worried about Bitonio not knowing what he's doing. I'm not worried. It's nice that your center is going to be one of those guys that's been there for a full year and is going to have, be able to tell everybody the protections and whatnot. It's nice that Tyrod's going to be an experienced quarterback behind them to help out as well. And then Hubbard knows the playbook, probably even the best. He's had multiple years under Haley. So even though he's new to this offensive line, he's probably the last guy we really have to worry about.
Yeah. When we were talking about worrying about left tackle going into this year, it's really turned in now to the entire offensive line. Like you said, Bitonio moving over is probably okay. You're taking a Pro Bowl left guard and making him left tackle. I guess we'll see what he can do. But
I'm not even a little worried about Bitonio. I know it's a new spot, and I know, at least on Twitter anyways, this has been a pretty big conversation is, hey, you should have got this started a long time ago. They still have 4 weeks left. Bitonio's been there forever. He knows. If he didn't know what the hell Joe Thomas's job was, then I would be absolutely floored, because I imagine as the offensive lines played together this many years, he knows everybody knows what one another's job is. Obviously, his technique's going to be a little bit different. He's going to have to deal with more speed guys on the outside than the bull rushers in the interior. But if I were to look at this roster, and you look at, that's the one thing we talked about. Like you said, that when you look at the Browns, how many different tackles they had brought in, we knew they were searching. We knew they didn't know what they had. Greg Robinson they brought in. I have no hope. What do you think? Like Greg Robinson, I have no expectations of him. Now he's going to get back to practice this week after his concussion, but I still think Bitonio gives you the best chance there. You play your best lineman right now as sort of a Band-Aid to get the job done. The day that I was out there, Bitonio, he's the only one that can even get close to stopping Myles Garrett. So he's going to be going up against guys basically on a weekly basis. The thing about this division is there's a number of really good interior rushers. Geno Atkins, the kid's slipping my mind in the nose tackle for the Ravens, always getting it done every year. But they have a pretty good defensive line as a whole with Suggs and whatnot. And then, of course, Cameron Hayward and Stephon Tuitt from the Steelers, who Tuitt just absolutely killed us last year. And that's where Corbett's going to be. Now, Corbett's got to be super stout against these guys. You have to be really stout against this defense. And I believe the center, J.C. Treader, brought it up. The reason why he had gained weight in the offseason, he said, I put on 10, 15 pounds, because when you look at the division rivals that we play here, they all have very big interior players that try to beat you with power. So that's what you're going to need from Corbett. You never had to worry about Bitonio. Bitonio, one of the best left guards in the entire game. So you're taking a step back there no matter what. It doesn't matter who you throw in there. The next guy up behind Bitonio is not going to be as good. But Corbett hopefully will be able to get the job done there. And I have all kinds of faith in Bitonio, even though he doesn't normally play left tackle. If there's anybody on this roster that you look at, that's the name I'm going to. So Bob Wiley said this would be Plan Z if they end up going with Bitonio. Maybe he just doesn't know the alphabet correctly, because I'm hoping he just thought that was the next letter after A. But you don't never know. So because I don't know. What's your thoughts on this with Bitonio moving out?
I'm assuming that when Corbett was brought in, they may have known that he was just the best guard on their board, and they were bringing in just the best player they thought was there. And it just so happens that, okay, well, let's try this plan that we talked about, where Corbett can fit in at left guard and we can try Bitonio at left tackle. There's no way they didn't think about it when they brought in Corbett to begin with. So I'm sure it was an idea in the draft room as far as even talking about Austin Corbett and what they could do with Bitonio.
Well, that's a good point, because the thing we had talked about in the draft process, those are still up there. If anybody wants to go back and listen to all our draft coverage, we did a number of that. If you're new to the show, go ahead and go back, check it out. But we talked about, hey, this is not a good tackle class. You could argue that the tackles went way higher than what their actual draft value predicted. Like nobody thought there was going to be one that went in the top 15 picks even. And I believe McGlinchey went, and the kid went to the Raiders from UCLA. I can't remember his name, but these guys were going. And we talked about him even being there with that first pick in the second round, you remember? And then also saying, well, he probably won't be ready to play right away, but it'll give you a way to shore up that position behind Joe Thomas at the time is what we had talked about. He would be behind Joe Thomas for a year or two. So things didn't quite work out that way. He goes early. And when you get there to that first pick in the second round, the Browns maybe just looked on the board. They go, this is the best lineman. We need extra bodies there. Is he going to play right away? Not if Sean Coleman can, take that left tackle job like we hope. He just hasn't been able to seize the opportunity. And now Corbett also not the best option at left tackle. So you stick him in there at left guard, and maybe it's probably a really good spot for Corbett. You're in between Bitonio and you're in between Shredder. This is the same thing we talked about with Bitonio when he came in as a rookie. When Bitonio was a rookie, what's a better spot to come in than to be in between Joe Thomas and Alex Mack?
Right. Yeah.
You're going to learn from two veterans, and that's good for Corbett here. And hopefully he's getting the job done. That's the one thing going out. I didn't sit there and watch the offensive and defensive line like I would hope. So
it's hard to see from where you're at too.
It is. Yeah. It is. And this upcoming preseason game, we're going to be able to rewatch the tape and all that. So that gives us a real opportunity to see how everybody is gelling together. A lot of people freaking out about Bitonio going to left tackle. I am okay with that. And as a matter of fact, I think it gives us the best five guys. And Hugh Jackson keeps bringing that up. Playing the best five guys on your offensive line. This might give you the best chance by moving Bitonio out there.
Yeah, and then putting Corbett in, who obviously they want to see on the field as well, which is interesting if he starts game one as it's a high second round draft pick, but boy, a lot of people
as a guard,
were hating on that pick.
Well, yeah, because when you look at your guards, you got Zeitler, you got Bitonio, and then you have a center, and all three of those guys are locked up for multiple year deals, and everybody looked at it and said, well, Corbett's not a tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like we said, you look at the draft board, what tackle are you going to take and be able to put in there? You're not. So selecting a tackle there with that second pick in the first round, it's almost like selecting Kaiser last year with the 52nd overall pick. Like, if you're going to pick him, he's not going to be ready to play day one. And then if you end up going and playing him day one when the guy's obviously a couple years away, you're not giving him a chance to succeed. And, what's his confidence going to happen? What's going to happen to the guy's confidence?
Right, but they were looking at Corbett as somebody that could play day one.
Yeah, but you think they were looking at Corbett as a tackle, I'm assuming.
No, maybe as a guard and maybe move Bitonio
Right, but why would Corbett play day one? Who's he going to play over day one?
This is what happens in football. We talk about this all the time. You get a guy that can start in the NFL in any of the draft rounds. You pick that guy. If they nabbed a starter there because they know he could start, this five that are starting on this line right now are not going to end the season. Starting on
with injuries and whatnot.
Yeah. So you gotta just take good players. You gotta take starting. These guys can be long-term starters in the league. What position does he play? It doesn't really matter.
What's the depth?
Good players.
So with Zeitler going down, you're putting in Durango. Durango's got some experience, but Durango hasn't blown anybody away. I think Durango's been a replacement level player at best. So
what if Zeitler then turns out to be a little bit more long-term? Okay, move Bitonio back to left guard, move Corbett over to right guard, and put Sean Coleman back in because now we have our best five. Zeitler's going to be down a little bit longer. Get flexibility here.
No, I think he gives you that flexibility. The problem with flexibility for a rookie is how many different positions do you want the guy to try to learn right away?
It's really crazy that they're asking him to play left guard because I think he started all 50-some games at Nevada at left tackle.
Yeah, he did, but I don't look when you're playing a college schedule and a college pass rusher. It's a lot different than what you're going to be experiencing in the NFL. I mean, the game has stepped up a bit. Look, I think Bitonio is a Band-Aid for right now at left tackle, but let's just say Bitonio blows us all away and is really goddamn good. Do you realize the amount of money we just saved on left tackle by paying Bitonio left tackle? Did I say left tackle? On a left tackle here by paying Bitonio left guard money.
Yeah, $5.5 million this year, $6 million this year, $7 million next, 8.5 the year after.
What did Nate Solder sign for? Because Nate Solder is a good, not great left tackle, and I believe he got $16 million or something like that a year.
4 years, $62 million. Yeah.
Okay, my math's not great, but that's a lot of money. So, like, just imagine if Bitonio just shocking the world out there, Bitonio, and proven to be one of the best left tackles in all of football. Like I said,
and he's $10 million underpaid. Yeah.
Yeah, $10 million. Do you think he comes back? He's holding out now. Fuck you guys! I'll give him my goddamn money.
If I'm starting left tackle, you guys are giving me a raise.
I'm the lowest paid left tackle in the game. You're paying me like a backup. I mean, it's the most important. If I learned one thing from the PFF forecast is that, and the other Pro Football Focus pro show that they do, they talk about it all the time. You take your best offensive lineman and you play him at the most important position and find out if he can do it. If he can't, then you move him to a less important position, left tackle being the most important position in all sports. Right tackle being the second most important and is so undervalued right now. Like, you're paying right tackles a lot less than what a left tackle is, and it's barely even below on that scale because a lot of these pass rushers are coming from that side. Von Miller primarily rushes against right tackles. Khalil Mack does most of his rushing from that side as well. So I like it. I like it in the fact that Bitonio's the best guy, like we said. And hey, man, if this thing works out, boy, we're just going to be stealing Bitonio's money.
Yeah, that's it.
Robbing him.
It'll be nice when we can get to, what is that, Thursday? We can see the preseason and see exactly how this looks.
Who do we got? The Giants?
Yeah, and they're not going to play long.
Right, yeah, so I wonder how much even, like, you'll see him match up against Olivier Vernon over there, who's a good pass rusher and is right, but that will give you a good, right off the bat, okay, how is he going to match? Because one thing you're worried about, how is he going to match up against the speed? Yeah, you're not worried about him getting overpowered. I think he's going to be able to handle the power. How is he going to match up? And he's got good feet, man. But Tonio's got some nice feet. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. What else do we got here? You went out to camp. Thursday.
I don't even remember what day I went to camp.
Yeah, it was Thursday.
Yeah, it
came back with some pretty good videos.
Yeah. And it was so what the offense did very well in like their scrimmage portions, but the defense killed them on the goal line. The defense stopped them, I think, 6 straight plays on the goal line. Tyrod threw a couple picks. Hugh, after practice, I don't know, did you hear the comments from Hugh on that one by chance? Because they asked him, well, Baker had a good day. Tyrod threw a couple picks, and he's like, oh, you can't blame Tyrod for a tipped pass. Did you see the video on that one by chance?
Yeah.
The ball was tipped 10 yards down the field by a linebacker. That doesn't count, Hugh, as a tip pass. Like it was just a lineman or something. He threw the ball in the middle of 3 defenders. And it was tipped. Yes, it was a tip pass by a linebacker. That's ridiculous. But Tyrod also threw a really nice touchdown in the corner to Landry. Well, Landry had a one-handed catch that day. Landry came back yesterday in the scrimmage, had another ridiculous one-handed catch. Landry is, he's just so damn quick, man. He doesn't have that straight line speed, but he gets open quick, and he's catching everything that you throw his way. Baker had another really good, really solid day. There was a couple times where he probably would have taken sacks. Hugh's comments about Baker were that they said, hey, Baker, look like you had a good day. And Hugh being Hugh, where it's all backhanded comments right now with Baker. Or if he gives Baker a comment, he goes and gives Tyrod a comment. He said, well, there was a couple times you should have thrown it away, and he didn't. So I guess it's fine. You want to motivate your player to maybe he recognizes that chip, that giant chip that's on Baker's shoulder, and he wants to add to that. I don't know. To me, it seems like he's so afraid to give a compliment to his rookie quarterback because of the quarterback controversy that it's going to happen anyways. There's going to be a quarterback controversy, whether you like it or not, just because he's the first overall pick. Right. That's what happens. No matter what, it's going to happen. People are going to ask the question, who should be starting?
That's a good question because, again, we need some preseason games to start working this out. I thought it was pretty funny when Dorsey answered a question the other day that they would sit down with Tyrod's agent and talk about a extension.
Was that in that article? Was that in that Ringer article? Or was that a different?
I don't know. The
Ringer did I think it was in that article. They did a good article on Dorsey, and Dorsey said it takes 3 years to build a team, so that left a question. Okay, 3 years starting from this year, or was that the 2 years with Sashi? What are we doing here? So I'm assuming he meant the 2 years they already started, and this year we're going to see that turnaround, road to redemption this year. So Dorsey had mentioned, hey, we'll see in October, maybe. Hey, you never know. You know how Dorsey is. Hey, you never know. I might get with this guy and we'll do one a contract or whatever. Trust me, he's not doing that. Dorsey might say some stupid things, but he's not a stupid GM. I think he's shown that so far. He's not going to make a deal that doesn't make any sense to him unless you can bring Tyrod in at backup money. Tyrod's not signing a backup contract. Okay?
Right.
So he's not. John Dorsey says things every day that you question. You go, what? That doesn't even make sense. Every time he talks to the press, you go, oh God, this guy needs to hire a press secretary. Like he's just not good at speaking in front of the camera. He says something that he probably regrets every time. So please don't take that at face value. I'm telling you, there's not a chance in hell they're going to sign Tyrod to an extension of any significance whatsoever, unless Tyrod's dumb enough to take backup money, which ain't going to happen.
Yeah, and there's like. Also, when they bring up these players and then Dorsey says, yeah, we took a look at them. Remember, we said this with Sashi. They look at every player. Everybody's an option. So the media gets it like, oh, they're talking to this player. They must really like him. It's not. That's not exactly right.
Mary Kay will go, oh, have you thought about this player? And they go, yeah, we thought about that. And then our next article is, Browns really love Des Bryant, signing him up.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what John Dorsey does, man. Sometimes he says stuff that you shake your head. You're like, why would you even say that? The answer to that question is, what are you going to do with Tyrod? Well, we'll see when that comes, when time comes. We got a long way to go. Yeah. Pretty simple, Dorsey. So he should definitely hire a press secretary, quit shooting himself in the foot every single press conference. Now, not only that, we went from the press conference where before the press conference, I went in thinking Josh Gordon will be back soon. After the press conference of Hugh Jackson, John Dorsey, I figured Josh Gordon will never play again. And then John Dorsey comes out yesterday and says, Josh Gordon will be back soon.
Yeah, I know. Boy, they're putting us on a roller coaster, dude, on this one.
Yeah. When DePodesta was talking about you as a fan being on a roller coaster with this organization, this rebuild, I didn't realize he was talking about John Dorsey's comments solely.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous, man.
Now I expect Josh Gordon to show up like Thursday night, just running out of the tunnel like I'm here. And then Dorsey will say something else on Thursday, and then I'll be like, oh, he's fucking suspended. We're done.
He's just here to sign his suspension papers. No.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if the game's in New York or not, but imagine if somebody sees Gordon at New York, anywhere near the NFL offices.
Oh, dear God. So, anyway, it's a good article. The Ringer, I believe, did it. Ringer.com. You can probably go to read it about Dorsey. He talks about the moves that went into where the Browns are at now, what he thinks the future is going to be, and he gives you a couple BS answers that you go, that's not what he really thinks. That he's full of it.
All right, it's kind of a short show. We just needed to catch up on this news. Wanted to talk about Bitonio. Do you want to get anything else down, or let's just come back later this week and?
Yeah, no, let's go. We got Hard Knocks coming up. What day is Hard Knocks?
Soon.
Yeah, so Hard Knocks coming up very soon. That will give us a chance to watch that, and then we can turn into a review show of Hard Knocks. We'll give our grades on Hard Knocks, and then we'll come back. We got the game, dude. I'm so ready for these games to start.
All right, hold on. Hard Knocks debuts Tuesday. 10 p.m.
Beautiful. So that means Wednesday I'll wake up and I'll catch it on the on my HBO Go replay. That'll be nice.
football game, I think, is 8 on Thursday. Browns game.
Is it that late? It's either 7 or 8.
Okay.
I don't know what time it is. I know they play Thursday. I know I'm going to be ready to go.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm a little worried about even how I'm going to watch it. I got rid of the cable, and now I have DirecTV Now or Go, whatever the hell they call it. I don't know if
none of this needs to be on the air. I haven't had cable for like 3 years, so and I don't live anywhere
I like
near
to get
Cleveland,
a crystal clear picture. Crystal clear picture. That's what I need.
I guess you're resubscribing to cable then.
So we'll see. I think these are like nationally televised games, or 3 or 4 of them are. I don't know if this one is. Hopefully it will be. It should be, because this is Saquon Barkley versus Baker Mayfield. Week 1, baby. And you know what? Before we go, that's the other thing. Actually, we'll talk about it next time. We need to make a prediction of what to prepare Browns fans for this year, because Baker Mayfield, if he's not going to be starting, you know damn well we're going to have weeks upon weeks of should have taken this guy. He's starting over in Arizona. You see, this guy's starting for the Giants. You see, Saquon Barkley's getting it done. He had 100 yards this week. Should have taken him. So we'll have to get everybody prepared for that fucking mental breakdown that we're going to have from 50% of the Browns fans.
Yeah, we'll cross those bridges when we get there, I think. Maybe a little better.
Might be this week when we go play the Giants. Saquon Barkley catches one pass, breaks a run. You're going to hear about it. Could have got Baker Mayfield at 4.
Yeah, if I had to put down my worries right now, it's this offensive line getting retooled. And there's something up with the defensive backs that doesn't seem to be coming together, I guess.
Well, Mitchell, man, he made the day I was there, he made a ridiculous interception. It's posted on our Twitter at STS Podcast. If you want to go on there, I had a number of videos I put on there. He made a diving interception. He was guarding Coleman. It was on a dig route, it looked like. Tyrod threw it. He made a good. I think he's going to be the one locking that position up. So maybe we don't have to worry about it as much. I think TJ Carey, they had playing on the outside, isn't meant for that. He's meant on the inside, and he just looks slow. Mitchell, much more athletic than what TJ Carey gives you. And so maybe ultimately the battle will end up being TJ Carey versus BBC for that nickel spot. But at camp right now, it was BBC, and then his backup was Denzel Rice for the nickel spot. So EJ Gaines and TJ Carey were the backup outside corners. You got anything else?
Nope, that's all. Let's get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for the comments on the Greg's skit from last show. We got a lot of feedback from that. It was really fun. Yeah, appreciate it. Probably just because nobody does anything like that, really. It was kind of unique. Yeah, that was fun. A lot of emails. All that was awesome. Emiana, my daughter, she thought she was going on TV, so she was like, "So, am I famous now or what?" Oh, she's pissed that it was just audio. Yeah, that's awesome. She's only 5. She doesn't know what the hell's going on. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. You can hit us up at STS Podcasts on Twitter. Rate us up on iTunes and Google Play and all that good stuff where you can rate us or subscribe. Helps out a lot. Our email, survivingtheseason@gmail.com. Greg, it is the road to redemption. Tell them what we say. Keep on surviving.